Well, I should have known that making a video like this was bound to happen sooner or later because being a Cowboys fan over the past, I don't know, I would say 5 years, more like the past decade, has been an interesting one. And if I wanted to describe it in one word, it would be roller coaster because because like hills and valleys, it has a lot of ups and downs, ups and downs, and ups and downs, and ups and downs, and up. It's just all over the place. Now, as you could tell by not just the title, but also the thumbnail, I made sure to make it as accurate as possible, at least in terms of my depiction. And you might be like, well, why would you depict yourself or depict a typical Cowboys fan as a clown? Well, you know why? Get a little bit closer. Get a little bit closer. You know why I say that? Because I'm a Cowboys fan. I am someone who has bought into what I can describe as sometimes a joke, sometimes just who knows? It is always a roller coaster just watching each game. Whether it's the off season, whether it's preseason, or it's the regular season, or better yet, even if it's the playoffs, I don't know what to expect out of the Cowboys. Because the first year we had Dak was 2016. That was 9 years ago. 2016 was 9 years ago. Can you believe that? 9 years ago was the first season where we get to see the the high potential of Dak Prescott as a rookie quarterback with Ezekiel Elliott behind him as his running back to help him when it came to the run game. They had an absolutely stacked offensive line, elite players, and one of them, at least with Zach Martin, hopefully going to the Hall of Fame with how amazing a career he had. But when it comes to the offensive line we had before Harris Frederick retired, Zach Martin retired, and I believe Tyron Smith retired, we had a chance for them. The thing that sucks, at least in my opinion, for having such an elite top tier offensive line for a handful of years is the fact that even with a great offensive line, we couldn't win a Super Bowl. We couldn't even make a Super Bowl. No, sorry. We couldn't not just win a Super Bowl, but we couldn't make a Super Bowl. And because we couldn't make because we didn't, I don't know, how do I say this? We couldn't even make an NFC Championship game. Because we couldn't make an NFC Championship game, we couldn't make the Super Bowl, meaning that we couldn't win a Super Bowl. And I've been around since 2004. So the glory days of the 90s where the Cowboys did amazing. You had Jimmy Johnson, you had Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, a lot of elite level players, legends, Hall of Famers in their own right on your team. But Jerry Jones' hunger for power, hunger for gain, hunger for just having a huge ego and wanting to make a lot of money over winning football has really taken a toll for the Cowboys organization as a whole. It doesn't matter where you look. Once the team entered the new millennium after 2000, that's when it was just a slow, subtle decline. It's like one of those like roller coasters that is just like a little, not a baby loop, but it's gonna go up really, really high, and you expect yourself to go, oh, all the way down super fast. It's gonna be so fun and exciting. No, it's like riding a snail instead of a roller coaster cart. It's a snail, and it just goes slowly but surely, till you go boom, which will probably happen within the next few seasons because only good year. This is my opinion and very debatable. So if you want to argue with me, debate with me in the comments, go ahead. I'd love to hear what y'all have to say about this. Only good year, or the only year that Dak Prescott was, so I believe it's objectively or subjectively. Either way, okay, I should probably say it like this. Only year that Dak Prescott was good was one season. That one season was his first season, his rookie season, the rookie year. The year that Tony Romo went down and we had to rely on the backup, Dak Prescott was the guy. He stepped up and did wonders. We did so good that we made the divisional, and we were so close to making the NFC Championship game. But who else but Aaron Rodgers to completely throw that idea straight out the window for Dallas Cowboys and the fans of that or of our organization. This organization. Golly, that's sad to know that with the way the past 9, 10 seasons have gone, your current quarterback is getting paid a buttload of money, considering the fact that he's been injured for at least 2 to 3, I think 3, even 4 seasons worth of games. And it's sad. You would think, with the amount of talent we've acquired year in and year out, the rosters we've had between, I don't know, I would say 2023 and any season before 2020. So yeah, something like that. No. Between 2016 and about maybe 2018, 2019, and then skipping 2020 to 2021. And so I would say 2016 to about 2018, and then about 2022 and 2023. You would absolutely think, with the amount of talent we had guys like Ezekiel Elliott in his prime, you had Dak Prescott in his prime, and by prime, I just mean the rookie seasons when they were actually good. You had various players coming in and out. You have had Jake Ferguson. You've had an elite level offensive line, Zach Martin, Tyrone Smith, Travis Frederick, and so on and so forth. There are probably a bunch of other names that I can't really think of off the top of my head. And then you had CeeDee Lamb. You had, I don't know. Now that I think about it, just wow. I love how when I'm trying to think of players and I look back at these past seasons, no, I can't think of any players. So I guess the fact of our regular season records kind of just disproved the fact that, oh, wow, we were good enough to make the playoffs, but we were good enough to get past, like, deep into the playoffs. No, we weren't. And it's sad because 2016, 2022, and 2023, those are the 3 most recent years that I can think of where the Cowboys were actually good enough to seemingly make a good run at the playoffs, at least in my opinion. But no, the San Francisco 49ers. No, I think it was 2022, 2023, and I believe 2021. No, I don't know, but y'all kind of get what I'm saying. Because there are 2 straight years where we lost to the 49ers in the playoffs, in the wild card and the divisional, back-to-back years. And the very next year, at home against the Packers, we get decimated by Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. And in 2016, it's just sad. After, I don't know, 2022, 2023, or just a little after 2020, I really gave up on the idea of saying it's our year. Why? We say it every year. Saying it, it's like insanity. It's doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. Now, were the results different and varied every year? Yes, that's for sure. That's a given. Because 2022, 2023, and 2024 make the playoffs, wild card. Make the playoffs, first round, exit. Or something like that. And then this past season, it's the playoffs. And it's just so sad. I've given up on saying that phrase because it is absolutely pointless to say it. And it's ridiculous. Because you would think that in my lifetime, with how good this team has been, and the amount of talent that has been on this team over the past decade, you would think, oh, they probably won at least maybe 1, 2, or at least 1 or even 2 Super Bowls. If you go to Wikipedia and type in the Dallas Cowboys and type in their most recent NFC Championship game appearance, the most recent Super Bowl, and their most recent playoff victory, it's astounding. Our most recent playoff victory, we've only had like what? 1, maybe 2 in the past, I guess, 5, 6 years. And adding to that, our most recent Super Bowl victory was back in the 90s. Our most recent NFC Championship game, not just win, but appearance, was back in the 90s before I was born. That's really sad. So in the 20 years that I've lived here on this earth, Cowboys have had 2 decades worth of time to at least win just one Super Bowl, just to make one Super Bowl. No. It doesn't help that we have an owner who is significantly. Sorry. I clicked my microphone, so we have a owner who thinks he's very, very competent, who is very, very old now, has a huge ego, who's very money driven, who is more focused on increasing revenue and gaining money than winning football games, even though he tries to make it seem like he does care, because he's tried to make himself relevant and his team relevant, more than actually making relevancy make sense, like winning games, winning playoff games, making the Super Bowl, and better yet, winning one. Yet we couldn't do that. We had many players come and go out of the Cowboys organization over these past 20 years that you would think they would have at least one Super Bowl win, a Super Bowl ring under their name on their Wikipedia page with the Dallas Cowboys. But that's not the case. You had Jason Witten, who is a top-tier wide receiver. You had Dez Bryant. You had Miles Austin. You had, I don't know, many guys that I forget the name. I guess you can say Leighton Vander Esch is up there. You had Sean Lee, who's up there. You had a handful of guys that you cannot get it done with. And yet, when it was time to take blame, take accountability for it was this reason, it was money problems, organization problems, any problems, Jerry Jones tried to make sure that he was relevant enough to be in the media, but not relevant enough to say, hey, the reason we're not doing well is not my fault. It's anyone else but me. I may be a contribution, but it's not directly my problem. When it doesn't help that, like I said, your owner thinks that he's competent, but he's getting really, really old. He is very money hungry, very money driven, more focused on making money than winning games. And yeah, he just, I don't know. He's just a very interesting character, is what I'll say. So, with that being said, there are so many words that I could say. There's so many words that I'm trying to say that I can't think of directly off the top of my head. Which is the fact that I supported a team for so long without them even making an NFC Championship game is astounding. Being not just a Cowboys fan, but just being a sports fan and being a fan of various sports teams, whether it's the terrible teams across the NFL like the Giants, the Jets, the Browns, the Jaguars, the Titans, the Pats as of recently, the Dolphins as of recently, I don't know, the Falcons as of recently, the Saints as of recently, and countless other teams is not for the faint of heart. It's not for the weak. And being a sports fan, no matter if it's the teams that I support, like the Cowboys, the Stars, the Rangers, and the Mavericks, or it's other teams, whether they're California teams, New York teams, college football teams, baseball teams, MLB teams, NFL teams, NBA teams, it's not easy when your organization is more known for just publicity and not actually winning. And and in my 21 years of living, between those 4 teams, how many of those teams have made either a conference finals appearance or better yet, a championship game appearance? Stars have twice. They've made the conference finals at least 3 times. They've made the Stanley Cup finals at least once. The Mavericks, they have made the playoffs countless years. They have made the NBA Finals 3 times, 2006, 2011, and 2023. They only won a single title out of those 3 appearances, but they have made the conference finals more than that. I think at least 5 or 6 times. The Rangers, who have made the World Series at least 3 times, 2010, 2011, and 2023. They have made multiple, not just World Series appearances, they've made multiple postseason appearances, 2015, 2016, 2010, 2011, 2023, and countless other seasons. They have made it to their conference finals or the ALCS countless times as well. 2010, 2011, 2023, probably a handful of other seasons that I can't take off the top of my head. But the Cowboys, out of those four teams, the Cowboys have not made it to the NFC Championship game, nor have they made it to the Super Bowl. But in the past 21 years, how many titles have been brought home to these teams? 2. Are either of them Cowboys Super Bowl rings? No. Got 2011 with the Mavericks and 2023 with the Texas Rangers. Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones, and anyone else in regard to the Cowboys organization, do better. This sucks. Like I said before, there are probably a bunch of words and a bunch of phrases and sentences that I was trying to say that it's kind of hard to figure out what exact words to say without going on this super long, stupid tangent. So, that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this little rant. If you want to see another video like this, or if you want to see me talk about a specific team or a specific topic, please leave those comments down below. I would greatly appreciate it. Stick around to the end. Thank you for being a trooper and an absolute legend. And with that being said, Cowboys, are they all in? Who knows? As for me, I'm Dak. Adios, amigos.